In order to obtain this rune, you will need to loot 3 partial spell notes from 3 specific enemies in the 1000 needles zone. However, these enemies are immune to damage until they have been hit by a certain number of frost spells, so you will need at least one other mage with you in order to deal enough damage to defeat the mob and loot it. The first mob is called the Scorched Screeching Roguefeather, and it can be found flying around this pillar here at right around 2747. As stated previously, you will need to hit the mob with a certain number of frost spells, so the Ice Lance Rune, or the Frostbolt, Cone of Cold, Frost Nova, or Blizzard spells should all work. Keep hitting the mob with frost spells until you see this red fiery debuff icon disappear, at which point the mob should be vulnerable to damage and be able to be defeated normally. We were able to achieve this with only 2 mages, however, the timing was a little bit tricky, so it would certainly be easier if you had more. After defeating the enemy, simply right-click to loot it, and you will have obtained your first partial spell notes. The next enemy is called the Singed Highperch Consort, and it can be found flying around a rock here, right around 1040. Once again, hit the mob over and over with frost spells until it is vulnerable to damage, at which point you can defeat it and loot your second partial spell notes. The final set of partial spell notes can be obtained by defeating an enemy located here at 2425. However, the Seared Needles Cougar that you will need to defeat is locked in a cage, requiring a Cougar Cage Key to unlock. This key can be obtained by defeating Galak Maulers, located at the camp just next to the cage or at any of these other yellow pins on the map. I did not actually have a key drop for myself personally, and I do hear that it is quite a low drop chance, but if you keep defeating these Maulers, you should eventually receive one, at which point you can right-click on the cage to open it. I happened to arrive just as the mob was being defeated, so I don't have great footage here, but once released from the cage, the mob runs around this rock here, and you can defeat it in the same way that you defeated the first 2 mobs. Once you have, simply loot it to obtain your third set of partial spell notes. With all 3 partial spell notes in your inventory, simply right-click on one of them, wait for the cast to finish, and you will obtain the Spell Notes Chronostatic Preservation. Right-click on those, wait for the cast to finish again, and you will obtain your Chronostatic Preservation Rune Engraving. Chronostatic Preservation is a brand new rune which can be engraved onto your boot slot. It is a 2-part spell which is first cast for 2 seconds, at which point it can be cast instantly at any point up to 15 seconds after that, at which point it will do a moderately sized burst of healing to a nearby friendly target. This heal is buffed by arcane, frost, and fire interactions, making this a strong healing spell for all mage specs, either in solo content, PvP, or in raid. I hope that this video helped you to obtain this powerful new rune. Thanks for watching, and have a good one. Peace.